Hello, everyone, and welcome to Disconnect. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful Valentine's week. I know I did. So, today I'm going to talk about sensitivity and shyness and the dislike of being touched. I'm also going to discuss how that can affect relationships, especially during times of intimacy. We're all adults here, so let's have some adult talk. Now, for many people who have dyspraxia, we don't like being touched. Whether it's a hug, a handshake, we share some parallels with those who have autism in regards to this. Now, this can have an effect when it comes to having relationships with our significant other. There's also another barrier that's not really talked about. As adults, we can come across shy, and that's not necessarily a deliberate thing. It can be because it can be awkward to communicate our feelings. It's difficult to communicate what's on our minds, and it's mostly because it's hard to process what's going on up in your head before it comes out of your mouth. Now, if you tuned into some of my previous videos, I touched on that a little bit, especially when it comes to awkward silences. Uh, One of the things that can be a problem as well is how your partner may interpret this. Obviously, when you're close and you've got a good relationship going, they want to hug you, they want to kiss you, they want to hold your arm, they want to hold your hand. And if you've got this feeling of not liking being touched, it can have problems. So, how do you overcome this? It's a tricky one. My method is to kind of build up to it before I even get to my partner's house. I know what the whole plan is. I know what our plan is for the day and throughout the night. And I kind of build myself up mentally for it. So it doesn't come as a surprise too much. I go to my partner's house and we just have a good time. It's wonderful. So I like to encourage you all to communicate with your partners as well. If they're the right one for you, they'll understand. I don't like being touched there. I'm okay you can hug me here, but please don't touch me there because it feels awkward. Or I don't like that. It's nothing against you. This is just my boundaries, and this is how my condition affects me. Uh, so yeah, just make sure you communicate clearly with your partner. Should be fine. If they are truly one for you, they'll understand. They won't take it personal. Try to communicate in a way that doesn't come across quite nasty. I know that brutal honesty is kind of a thing with dyspraxics. When we speak, we sometimes don't have a filter, but I'm going to touch on that in another video because you can sometimes say things that are offensive, even if you don't mean to offend the person. At least some people who are quite, let's say, there are people who are straight talkers. They have some sort of degree of filter. They can sort of hold some things back. They just say enough to get their point across. But for some of us dyspraxics, we don't have that control. We just say it, and it can come across as an attack sometimes. And it's not a deliberate thing either. But how to communicate that to other people is a bit awkward. So try to be mindful about how you're communicating things with your partner as well. You don't want to come across horrible. Take your time when you speak, and hopefully should come across all right. If you have to write it down before you say it, do it. Whatever helps, but just make sure that your partner is aware. Okay, so this is a shorter video. I'm sorry if I don't sound like my normal self. I'm a little bit under the weather today, so I'm going to rest, and I hope to see you all next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out the links below for Coffee Brand Coffee, and I'll see you all next week. Bye bye.